Well, today we're going to talk about your favorite subject, extraterrestrials. And are they here? And what are they doing? And what are they really? I have some interesting information, and I actually have something really cool to show you. Thanks to my lovely subscriber who sent pictures of orbs, real ones. No, it wasn't a car going by. I'm going to talk about what extraterrestrials really are, because our perception of them has changed drastically, and we have proof from people who've experienced this that are telling us they're not what you think they are. You ready? Let's go. Welcome to Landria, Onkka on YouTube, here to help you break through those fears and live an amazing life. Woo-wee! Okay, we're going to have some coffee today. Yep. My dishwasher's going. Hopefully it's not too noisy. But I've invited you into my home to talk about ETs, extraterrestrials. Well, we're sort of that too, aren't we? I mean, we're out here with them. We go to places out there. What are we? Well, I want to ask you a question. My friend and I had this discussion last night. Look around the whole planet. Look at our different colors, our different characters, our different cultures, and ask yourself if we really came from one thing. No, we didn't come from one thing. We are a variation of a species. And we know that we got a little bit of help. DNA has changed. We have things going on right now that are unexplainable. I want to talk about that because I want to share with you what I believe extraterrestrials are, what even NASA, not that you guys really care about NASA, but yeah, got some pretty smart people working there, and actual experiencers, we call them abductees, but experiencers who have contact with extraterrestrials, what they have to say. Now, you know my favorite person, Chris Bledsoe. He got abducted years ago along with his son, and this was witnessed. He has some great feedback I want to share with you. First of all, I hope that you'll subscribe and tell YouTube that you support positive channels. There's a lot of stuff going on out there that's trying to brainwash you to keep you into negativity and arguing with one another. Let's stop arguing. We never have to argue. There's no reason to ever be angry, okay? Let's solve our problems, because when we go into that space, we will earn our place in a much bigger world. This galaxy, imagine what's out there and how we can help one another. We're much more powerful as a community. I hope you'll stay to the end of this video, because I have some things for you, some free stuff that I want to share with you that you might be really interested in to participate in this new world that's happening right now. Major transition is happening, and I keep hearing it and hearing it, and you know I'm not out there watching stuff, but I do watch people like Jeffrey Mishlove. I want you to know that there are some very scientific people that realize that there's a whole world out there that we don't see, that people are afraid of and told that we need to, fear the things that we don't see, but we're going into this space where extraterrestrials are a part of that world. Why do I say that? People who have witnessed and or been abducted or have witnessed ETs are telling us various stories. There's a variety of them, just like us. They come from different places, and I believe that they have influenced our physical evolution. We have DNA that has not been used fully, just like our brain and other things in our body. Why? We're designed to grow into them, giving us amazing powers. We're going into that right now. It's been proven that our DNA has changed. We have seen ourselves as physical beings, and we think that these thoughts in our heads have no effect on anything. Everything has an effect on everything. Everything is connected. There's no two things anywhere, seen and unseen, that are disconnected, that are separate. It's impossible. Energy is one thing. It always has been, it always will be. It just transforms and expresses itself into different things. So everything you're seeing is a part of you. So we need to go into that space where we respect it. And so nothing out there is an enemy. Just like human beings can do some pretty nasty stuff to one another. There's a variety of beings out there, but I guarantee you that we have extraterrestrials here that are evolved and want to help us because they benefit from that. And they're on a higher frequency, meaning that they don't see a benefit in conflict or destruction like us, and they're waiting for us to get our act together. I'm asking you to help us to do that. No arguing with your neighbor, no correcting somebody. We're allowed to have our own free will thoughts and opinions. Can we respect that? Let's focus on the things that we can do to change this planet, because if you do that, you will go into the new earth right now. It's happening right now. And the transition is huge. And you may think it's not happening. Then I'm asking you where you're focusing. Because those who have experienced the extraterrestrials have shared that they shift into various forms, including light and orbs. Some of them shine, they're translucent. They are not just physical beings on craft that come in. Those craft can disappear. They can shoot off into whatever other dimensions. Scientists are coming to the conclusion that they are part of the unseen world that exists in different dimensions and different frequencies and vibrations that allow them to come in and out, and that we, on a lower density, a lower vibration, especially with where we are in our frequency. Your frequency is what you choose as far as in New Earth, penthouse, or density, down in the basement. We get to choose that. That's the game. This is the illusion. We're playing an illusion, and they're a part of that too. Because they're on a higher frequency, they are more evolved. They have abilities way beyond what we can imagine. They don't have to talk to one another. They know our thoughts. They know your feelings. We are easily convinced about a lot of things that are keeping us down in separation. We've got to get past this. Now, orbs. I'm going to show you some orbs right now. And these are orbs that my subscriber shared, and I don't know if she wanted her name said, so I'm not going to do that. She told me she asked them. Now you can communicate with them. They are not, again, separate. They are so connected to us that they know what you're thinking and feeling. They pick up on those vibes. So she asked if they wanted to be shown on my channel, and they appeared. I looked up pink, and pink represents love. Yeah, so pink orbs showed up, and so she's filmed several, and I said to her, how do you know, why did you happen to have a camera out, and how do you know that they're going to show up? She says she pulls the camera out, and she shoots frequently, and asks them. Now, why is she getting these orbs? Well, you can get them too, but they're not going to appear to non-believers or negativity. Now, Chris Bledsoe, the person I've shared with you, got abducted, who has communicated with ETs. Once they get abducted, they often have abilities and also continue to see the ETs. Now, if they're not in fear, they can have a great relationship with the ETs. We go in fear because we are dense, and so we have such limiting thoughts. We're told we're supposed to fear the unknown. If we can get past that, you can open up a world that is amazing. If they want to hurt you, they're going to do it, but they're not doing that, right? So what is it we're fearing? We fear anything that's unknown that we don't understand. We've got to get past that and go into this space and explore it. Now, I have students in my Digital Explorers class. We're actually learning how to expand our psychic abilities, go into that space and understand it and use our abilities. You have these abilities right now. And so you can do this too. You can call in orbs. Are they extraterrestrials? Yes, they are. They're the world that we say is either human and solid, human-like and solid, or it's a ghost, or it's an orb. What is it anymore? Those lines have been blurred. And so Chris Bledsoe said, these are extraterrestrials. They are in a different form and they live in different dimensions. And just because they don't come in craft all the time doesn't mean that they aren't part of that existing world out there that doesn't necessarily even live on planets. Interesting, isn't it? So there's a whole range of what ETs are, extraterrestrials. They're traveling through space. Some of them live here. In fact, a lot of those orbs exist here with us, and Chris Bledsoe said that. He said they actually live here. They're not coming from someplace else. And then there are others who travel in all kinds of dimensions, anywhere. Time doesn't actually exist out there. We only create it on this planet. These ETs are not here to harm us. we can collaborate with them and expand our powers beyond what you can imagine. Healing can take place instantaneously. It did with me. I was aware of my foot being healed by I don't know who, but they were working on my foot. I remember it. I heard a pop, and I thought, what is that? I could feel somebody moving my foot. I woke up in the morning and was going to go get an operation on my foot that was so messed up. Now is 100% healed to this day, and that was about 15 years ago. What is that? I was in a space of a higher frequency that allowed that. I was ready to move into that space of belief and acceptance, and I started my online businesses and helping people to move past fear. Why was it that Christ, who had amazing healing powers, he was in that space, unable to heal everybody? Because they didn't believe, or for whatever reason wanted to experience the illness. He couldn't heal everybody because we have free will. So it wouldn't matter if it's the beggar or the wealthy person. The one doesn't judge anything because the one creates everything. There's no person higher or lower than you. And so if you look at people that way, you're still in density and separation. And when you go and you see the beauty in absolutely everything, you see as the one sees everything. And you go into a space of empowerment, and you can heal yourself, you can heal other people, you can learn how to do all these things. We're actually teaching people how to do this stuff. I want you to remember that fear, and if you purchase my book, you know that there's nothing to fear. You are so powerful. Fear is the barrier to all of the things right now that you desire. We hold back on the things we want to do with our lives. We hold back on believing things that could be completely out there because humans have been trained to limit themselves. It keeps us in density, and others use the power to control us because they're coming from ego. So I want you to know that you're going to experience more and more of these things. Orbs, maybe things that appear, maybe extraterrestrials. We're going to see more craft. This is going to start happening. It's 2024 right now. Between now and 2026, I believe we're going to have some real major appearances. This whole disclosure thing, I have no interest in that at all. It's still controlled information. I want to ask you what you believe, and if you're in fear, why? Where did you get that information? You got to shut it down, shut down the negativity. I'm going to tell you something also that I want you to be very aware of. This is mind control that you don't even realize is happening. It's very, very powerful, and that is these social media platforms. Even if you're not looking for certain information, you're getting stuff put in front of you. And I've seen more violence on two platforms. They both start with a T, all right? That while I'm loading videos, I'm seeing people doing horrific things to one another. Real videos, and then some of them are not real. They're just made up. It allows us to become immune to that. Don't go into that space. Hold your ground, because you're going to go into the new earth. So something that extraterrestrials have been sharing is that we are in a great transformational stage. You came here to participate, and I know some of you don't want to be here. I'm not real happy about it myself, to be honest with you. It still creates pain, so no matter how high of a frequency you go into, you don't escape the sadness and the pain. But there's no reason to go into separation or anger or anything else like that. It just doesn't even make any sense. You have to hold your ground on this. Expose yourself to that which is powerful and positive. Go into expansion and creativity. Do not go into fear and quit questioning your ability to do and create anything. You have those powers. And you will find the right people the right time. You have to seek and ye shall find, right? You will receive everything that you need, but you've got to know it exists. Every probability exists right now for you. We have assistants right now cheering us on. They cannot interfere with our free will, because we are in a matrix game by choice, all right? And now we control the program. It's not a program that controls us. We control the program, because as we change our frequency, then the frequency of the program changes, all right? It gets more expansive. It becomes more peaceful. It's an earth in transition to the higher frequency. It's happening now, and it's an individual choice. ETs are everything you can possibly imagine. In every form, it's unending. Orbs, unseen, And also, ghosts, what you think are ghosts, are just energy fields of powerful impressions of past lives and things that all exist at one time. Sometimes we get a glimpse in that. That's nothing to fear either. Sometimes we see ghosts are people who get stuck in their own anger and low density. They get stuck into that energy field, so sometimes they hang around in certain places because they haven't moved up. So watch your frequency. Just because you transition when you leave this body doesn't mean your frequency goes up. You will have to continue your lessons over there so you don't get out of anything. Get it right now. And if you have negative thoughts, I want you to switch them. Have you ever seen my 3 seconds to manifest anything? That means I can switch my negative thought, boom, like that. And this is what I'm counting on. If you want to join this new space, it's your choice. You can, and we will get the assistance, welcome them in, and of course you have the power to say no to anything that comes in that is undesirable, and guess what? They will not bother you. If you go into that space of power, if you go into fear, you're saying, no, I've never been able to get rid of them because you're in fear. And they are connected to lower frequencies. So I've told you this. My father has many mansions. In that mansion are different rooms. So if you're hanging in the basement and you're expecting to see somebody from the penthouse, it's not going to happen. You've got to get out of that low frequency. And you will experience amazing things. So if you're not, and you're getting negativity, then you've got to work on this if you want to go into that space. Beautiful view up in the penthouse. It's in the mansion, but you won't know it unless you raise your frequency and get up there. And there's everything up there. And so what we call angels, orbs, ETs, it's all a blur. It's just another form with different expressions of the one source. That's it. And so yes, we do have physical ETs, and they can transition too. They can disappear. So how physical are they really? We can go into that space. So we're going to talk more about this because I'm going to give you some great examples of what's going on out there, of things that I believe are pretty credible, all right? I also think we need to have an event at some point and possibly call in some extraterrestrials. We're going to work on that. I'll announce that later on. If you guys are here in my list, you're going to see some big changes on landria.com, breakthrough fear, and some master classes. We're going to start to develop our powers. If you want to create an online business with passion, purpose, positive impact, and profits, Digital Explorers is creating planet-conscious businesses working around your passion. Passion is one of the highest frequencies. If you've heard Bashar, he says just go after your passion and it will work out, because when you're on a high frequency, again, you're in the penthouse and you're with other people in the penthouse who are passionate, who care about the planet, who care about other people. I'm teaching people how to do this. It's an online course, and I have live coaching every week. You get to work with me because I've been doing this for 10 years and I was an investment banker for 20. I'm using everything I can to help you be successful and eliminating all the reasons why people fail online. We're going to start doing business differently. We're going to start living differently. We're going to treat each other differently. We're going to come together as a community and start to create something so amazing in power, and stop arguing and having my way, because that's ego, and saying, you know what? Let's talk. I can learn something. Let's teach each other things. Let's go into that space and focus on that. And you'll get to experience the ETs. And you're going to realize how amazing they are. And they are here to help us, and you just have to call them in. I'm going to work on the orb thing. I have seen orbs before, not like my friend here. And thank you for sharing that, because they are like just so mystically beautiful. If you have orb pictures or videos, I don't mean lights from cars going by, I mean real orbs, you can write me at landria@landriaonka.com. Send me your pictures. And if you're okay with me posting them here, let me know. I would love to see them. I'd love to share them with the public and let people know. These are beautiful beings. They're protecting us. They're looking after us. They'll guide us. They will give you messages, things that you need to know to progress in your life. They will give you answers. They will guide you to things. They've done that many, many times for me. In fact, they never fail me when I truly request their help. They're there to guide me. And this is all available for you. So I hope you enjoyed our discussion today. We're going to explore more of this because this is a new world now. And it's a mystical, beautiful one, not to be feared. So again, I hope you'll subscribe. You share my videos. Post them anywhere. I want people to know that we're going into something really amazing. And the things we're letting go of, they haven't served us well. You're whole and perfect, strong and powerful, loving, harmonious, and happy. Blessings to you, my friend. Namaste.